Yo, what's up, guys? You got I here today with another top 10 video for the best Pokemon in Draft League format. And with me today is once again,
Illusion, the leader of this channel.
co-leader. Technically, you're my alt, so we're kind of one and the same.
Basically.
Yeah, and so how's your day been?
It's been pretty well. I'm ready to get this list started. Just so you guys know at home, this list is completely factual. This isn't an opinion. These are facts that we created. So this is undisputed.
We didn't create these facts. Smogon did.
Oh yeah. Smogon, Game Freak, the President of the United States.
Maybe not him.
Everybody.
All right, so let's start the list. So first off, we have the general ban list, and we have Lander's Eye, Sheer Force, Tapu Lele, Marshadow, Pheromosa, Magearna, Combi, and Ubers. Now, you want to explain why these are banned?
Like Mega. Yeah, these Pokemon aren't like sometimes they're allowed in League, but sometimes they're not. So it's kind of weird to put them on the list. These are just Mons that are generally never banned in League in our list. Mons like Mega Kangaskhan, Magearna, Pheromosa, and Tapu Lele, even Lando-T, they're banned in a lot of leagues. Most leagues I'm in and II's in, they're banned. So we decided not to put them on the list. Combi is too broken to like Primal Groudon of draft, so we had to take that off too.
Yeah. And of course we had to add Combi, the biggest out of all of them. But yeah, let's continue on the top 10 list. So for number 10, we have Victini. Now, some pros. It has a 180 base power in V-Create. Now, that is incredibly strong, especially in Draft League format when you can prep around in preparation for other people prepping for the V-Create. What's its ability again? It's like Compound Up.
Victory Star?
Victory Star, yeah. So you can use moves that have less accuracy, easier, like Thunder, things like that. Focus Blast will hit more often, and things like that.
It's like a 10% accuracy boost, which can help a lot. It makes it so V-Create never misses.
Yeah. Although Victini is one of the only Mons that get V-Create, so might as well have made it 100 in accuracy.
Yeah. Bikini has like maybe one of the best movesets in the entire game. It has the best stabs. It gets Blue Flare, Searing Shot, V-Create, gets Bolt Strike. It just has like a wonderful moveset with high base power stabs.
Yeah.
Especially on the fire side.
It gets Toxic, it gets Trick, it probably gets Tackle. You can see why we put it at number 10.
Yeah, it gets Trick Room too. I've seen like Trick Room V-Create being ran a couple times. The speed drops help you out slow Pokemon in Trick Room.
Yeah. It also gets Dazzling Gleam for dragons that can try to take it on, and Glaciate as well. So that's pretty cool. A reason why we put it at number 10 and not higher up is because Victini, in my opinion, is mostly all about momentum. And if your job revolves around pivoting and expecting people to switch out on you, you don't want to be weak to rocks. And yeah, so we put it there a lot, mainly because of its rock weakness and because it can be pursuit trapped fairly easily. If it goes for V-Create on something and gets a kill, it could be pursuit trapped right after with its weakened stats. And yeah, it's also fairly weak to a lot of types, such as like water and ground and dark, ghost, things like that. Anything to add? Illusion? You there, buddy?
Hello?
Anything to add?
Oh, I couldn't hear you, but yeah, you basically said it all. Weak to a lot of common types, even though it has a good moveset. It's also has like there's a lot of answers of Victini that has trouble breaking. Things like even Arcanine, so it has to rely on like you turning out or just toxicking.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, that's why we put it at number 10, and we'll move on to number 9 now. So for number 9, we have Latios, and you want to talk about this one?
So this is one of the best defoggers in League or just in general. It's also like a really good has really good offensive typing, really good defensive. It has surprisingly good defensive typing. This thing like can even wall a lot of water type and fire types. It has decent bulk, surprisingly good bulk with for such a solid special attacker, and it has a really good move set. Even if you slap a Z move on this thing, it can like hit through most things that would wall it. It gets moves like Thunderbolt, Energy Ball, Trick to break through walls. Z Memento is a good utility, especially if you have a sweeper in the back.
Yeah, definitely. Did you talk about the Dragon Dance set?
This is the best Dragon Dancer in the game. I can't think of any Pokemon that can beat this as a Dragon Dancer.
Besides, any mon with bulk.
Yeah, this is a really good mod. This is like, if you need a defogger, Latios is one of the best. Yeah. One thing I really like about it is it's a defogger that's not weak to rocks, which is really nice. A lot of defoggers are flying types, which kind of sucks. It also doesn't have any like quad weaknesses, which is pretty good defensively.
Yeah. Only downsides are, like Victini, it can also be pursuit trapped. And if you're switching this in on a mon that could potentially have U-turn, it could take a fair amount of damage and they could bring something in to deal with it. But other than that, very good stab.
Yeah, there are like a lot of mons that like can pursuit trap Latios. You always have to, like, when you have a Latios on your team, you always have to be scared of like pursuit trap.
Yeah.
And it kind of turns things into a 50-50. Like, even a mon like Skuntank can pursuit trap Latios if you don't have the right prep or if you're not careful.
Although I will say this, even Assault Vest Skuntank takes a lot from Latios. Like, it is not the best switch in for it. If it's like Life Orb or Specs or whatnot. But yeah, that's why we have Latios as number 9. It's really good, but in Smogon's opinion, it's not as good as the next 8 mons. So for number 8...
Yeah, Game Freak came back to us, number 9. That's where it's at.
Yeah, pretty much. So for number 8, we have Jirachi. And like Victini, it can do pretty much almost everything. Base 100 stats all around. It is a very good stealth rocker and pivot. It gets U-turn. It also gets Wish. It gets Protect. Although most mons get Protect, but it gets Toxic.
Honestly, I would find Jirachi to be one of the most versatile Pokemon. It's really good defensively with Wish and Protect. It can be a physical attacker with Iron Head being one of the best moves. Flinching down. I've literally seen people like flint somebody like 11 times in a row to win. It's crazy. And this mon, it can run a really good special set, especially with Calm Mind. Sub can be good. It can run Power Up Punch. It has a really good move set. It even gets things like Draco Meteor, which is pretty good coverage.
Although I don't recommend using it. It's mostly...
Yeah, this thing has one of the best move sets in the game. It's one of those, it has the Pixie stats, 100 all around, so it pretty much can do anything and do it well.
And it gets T-Wave, so you already know it's good. But the main reason why we have it at number 8 is a lot of times you are stuck in the 4 move slot syndrome with this. If you want to use this thing to punch down other mons, you might miss out on Ice Punch or Fire Punch, depending on what they have, or like even Zen Headbutt. There's just a lot of...
Yeah, a lot of time, like if you want to run defensive, you want Wish and Protect, and then if like you need it to be a rocker, it's like Wish, Protect, Rocks, and it only gets one move. Or if you want Toxic, it has like a trouble. It wish it has more moves, especially since its stabs are pretty much like easily walled by a lot of certain Pokemon.
Yeah. And like the 2 other mons before it, it is also vulnerable to pursuit trapping.
Yeah, so we got like our first 3 Mons on the list, all psychic types, which are pretty good in the format, but they're all weak to pursuit trapping. I think Jirachi is one of those Mons that's harder to pursuit trap than the other 2 because of its bulk.
Yeah.
It has the same bulk as Victini, but Victini like has defense drops from B Create.
And it
can't really weak to rocks.
Yeah.
But Jirachi, I've seen this tank like knockoffs like it was its job. Even without Cobra Bear.
Yeah. But anyway, that's pretty much why we have Jirachi as number 8. And for number 7, we have Manaphy. Another Pixie. So, base 100 stats like Jirachi and Victini. Some of the best setup in the game, to be honest. It gets Tail Glow.
Yeah, it has the best, like, Tail Glow, honestly, one of the best setup moves behind, like, Quiver Dance. Tail Glow is just monstrous.
Yeah.
Pretty much, like, it's not that strong, but at +3, it's now a menace.
Especially with Z moves now.
Yeah, this thing can break through a lot of Pokemon with Z moves.
I will say, Z moves make other Mons more of a threat to Manaphy now. Especially like electric and grass types who couldn't kill in one hit before, but they can with Z moves.
Yeah, like a lot of Pokemon, especially with like Solar Beam, like even like a Heat Rank and like Z Bloom Doom on the switch in. Yeah. I've seen that happen before. Volcanion can do that too. It's pretty like a lot of the problem with Manaphy that I've had from using it is that it has to tank a fat hit to set up, and then it only gets 1 kill and is revenge killed.
Yeah, but
that's like the usual way.
More than they lost.
If they don't prep for it, they can get 6-0'd. Yeah. Especially Z Rain Dance. Z Rain Dance can be super strong.
Yeah, it's not broken, but it's pretty good. It also gets surprisingly good utility options, such as screens and Heal Bell. And, yeah, it gets Acid Armor, Calm Mind.
It gets Heart Swap? I didn't know it got Heart Swap.
Has a lot of cool niches.
Yeah, it has a surprisingly good moveset. I've seen even U-Turn. It gets U-Turn, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I've actually ran Banded Manaphy before.
Yeah, okay.
In a game, and it worked. But anyway.
Yeah.
So the reason why it's at number 7 is mainly because of the 4 move slot syndrome. You know, like Jirachi, it has trouble covering all of its options, although it can cover a lot. Like if you're gonna run Z Rain Dance, it's gonna probably be Z Rain Dance, Tail Glow, and then Water move, and then either an Ice or a Psychic move.
So yeah, it definitely suffers from more 4 move slots syndrome. I have Tail Glow, that's -1 move slot. Then they'll have like a bulky Water, so you need like Energy Ball. Yeah. And then they'll have like a Dragon type, so you need Ice Beam, and then you need Water Stab. And then if they have another Pokemon that resists those 3, you just gotta have to deal with it.
Yeah, and it's also kind of predictable. If you know what Manaphy does, you should know how to deal with it somewhat in prep. It can lack power with some setup. And it just doesn't have the best recovery. It's like only recovery is rest.
And you can run other sets with Manaphy.
You pretty much have to run Rain Dance.
Yeah. Like a lot of the problem, like you can run other sets with Manaphy that aren't Tail Glow, but it's super weak. And it doesn't have like high base power moves like Victini, or can't like flinch things down like Jirachi.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tail Glow and its setup option make it really good.
Yeah. But that's why we have Manaphy as number 7. For number 6, we have Escadrille. You want to talk about it?
This Mon is nuts. It fulfills, so like, when I build a team, I usually want a spinner, a ground type, and a steel type. Those are like 3 things I really want. This fulfills all those 3 things in one package. It also gets rocks. It's a sweeper. It's like one of the best weather sweepers in the game. Unlike the other weather sweepers like King, it's really good outside of sand.
Yeah, I agree with that. it actually has really good typing in ground and steel, being immune to electric and poison, especially electric. Like Excadrill is probably one of the best switch-ins to things like Tapu Koko and other electric types.
And you wouldn't think it has surprisingly decent bulk, really high HP stat, if I remember correctly. And
Yeah.
if you invest in defensive, it's pretty decent defensively. And like Mold Breaker is a good ability outside of sand because it lets you hit things like Rotom, lets you set up rocks on things like Sableye, Toxic. You can Toxic Sableye.
Yeah.
Mold Breaker Excadrill almost always sets up rocks. There's nothing that can really stop it other than taunt.
Yeah. Pretty much. It also has a really good attack, and as you said before, it's probably one of the best spinners in the game. Some reasons why this is number 6 and not higher on the list is pretty much because of Sand Rush. It kind of requires the sand to put in the maximum sweeping potential, and the problem with that is it also shares weaknesses with, decent sand setters like Gigalith and Tyranitar. Like, those are all weak to fighting and ground. Yeah, and you pretty much can only run physical Excadrill, so people kind of know what you're gonna do beforehand.
Yeah. And it's like its dual stabs are really powerful, but there's certain typings that like stop it in its tracks. Steel Flying, if you have like a Skarmory, Excadrill can really almost never break through Skarmory on its own.
Even with
even things like even like Swords Dance, like it can't really even like it's hard to break through Skarmory.
Yeah.
Things like Celesteela stop it in its tracks offensively.
Yeah. Same with like Mega Scizor. If it's not Swords Dance, it's gonna have trouble breaking through it.
Metronome Excadrill though. The Mega Scizor can. I used it.
Couldn't stop Corsola. But that's an inside joke. Sorry for saying it. But that's pretty much the reason why we have Excadrill as number 6. Yeah, so let's go on to number 5. So for number 5, we have Zygarde 50%. And this...
I'll give you the one reason it's number 5, and it's called 1,000 Arrows. This mon was garbage, and then it got 1,000 Arrows. Now it's one of the best Pokemon in the game.
Yeah. It's... Like, these next top 5 Mons they're so good that it's debatable as which one's above the other. But, Zygarde pretty much... Oh, I'm sorry, it's not debatable. Smogon laid it out. My bad.
Oh, yeah, yep. Smogon and Game Freak, not undebatable. These are just the facts of life. Sky's blue, and this is the list of the top 10 best Pokemon.
Pretty much. So, Zygarde 50% gets amazing setup in both Coil and Dragon Dance. And as Illusion said earlier, 1,000 Arrows, which if you don't know what it does, it's basically a 90 base power ground move that hits everything. So it hits flying types and makes them, it basically puts them on the ground so other ground type moves can hit it, such as Earthquake, Earth Power, and things like that.
Only grass types resist 1,000 Arrows, right? Everything else gets hit for at least neutral damage.
I think so. Yeah. It gets good priority and extreme speed. Honestly, one of the best bulky mons in the game. You can run it Spadef.
This thing does not die in one hit. You think like Hidden Power Ice is like an answer, and then it does like 40%, and then it Dragon Dances up. With Z moves, it's pretty strong. Like it only has, I think, base 100 attack, which isn't that great, but it has such good stabs, especially with 1,000 Arrows. And like a +1 Z Outrage is breaking through a lot of Pokemon.
Yeah. And you can also run special to take people off guard.
Yeah, I've seen special run. It also gets Trapper Set as a Trapper Set. You can trap things with 1,000 waves.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. But the main reason why Smogon put it at number 5 is because of its 14.
Honestly, this Pokemon is like has, I think, of all the Pokemon has the coolest text. I've seen Camouflage run to good potential. I've seen I've seen Glare, Haze. I've seen some Core Enforcer sets, Thousand Wave sets.
Yeah.
I've seen Sub Protect leftovers like Vince Zygarde. This mod just has so many options. It's super good.
Yeah. If it wasn't 4 times weak to ice, it'd probably be number 1.
It honestly, I think it would be banned if it wasn't 4 times weak to ice.
Actually, yeah. Probably. But another reason why this was put at number 5 is because it's a ground type without hazards, which can be bad, I guess, if you're trying to have a balanced team and you don't want 2 of the same typing. Its speed isn't that great either. 95 speed is about average.
It's all right, but like not like out like speed time with base 100s, which is like a pretty crowded speed tier.
Yeah.
It's not that great.
Yeah. And its only reliable dragon move is like Outrage or Dragon Tail. I don't recommend running Dragon.
Yeah, it doesn't get Dragon Claw, which kind of sucks.
Yeah. But
it's not like Zygarde, like the top 5 Mons, they're like almost interchangeable. They're all that good.
Yeah. Anything else to add?
Nope, that's about it.
Yeah, I think we covered it. All right, so for number 4, we have Tapu Koko.
The greatest Mon in Draft League format. This thing, I can't say enough good things about this Pokemon. It has a good speed, great typing, a pretty good moveset, and one of the best abilities in the game, Electric Surge, which makes it so like Tapu Koko isn't that strong when you look at its stats. Base 95 and base 115 are all right, but Electric Terrain makes its electric type moves outrageously strong. A Thunderbolt in the electric terrain from Tapu Koko is like the same as a Surf from a Kingdra in the rain. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Koko definitely has a lot going for it. As you said, electric terrain pretty much makes this top 5 worthy. Good coverage options, somewhat, and Dazzling Gleam and Grass Knot. And of course, the electric moves. It can run Calm Mind, so that's something that could possibly be a threat. Although mostly you'll use it for momentum purposes. Can also run Nature's Madness, which can.
With Z moves, it's really strong too.
People sleep on Nature's Madness, especially like Z Nature's Madness. Like if you think something's a switch into this, and you get hit by a Z Nature's Madness, odds are Koko can kill you right after that, and then you'd have nothing for it.
Yeah, and this mon's really threatening with Z moves, honestly.
Yeah.
It gets things like Z Dazzling Gleam after like a Calm Mind can break through a lot of ground types. Something like Z Grass Knot even. And Z Electric on either side, like physical or special, hurts really hard. Even Resist pretty much like it almost die after rocks.
Yeah. It gets awesome utility moves as well, like Taunt and Roost and things like that.
And one thing that's slept on it is about its speed is that like its bulk isn't that great, but due to being so fast, a lot of times you can speed creep. You don't have to run that much speed investment, and then just add a lot of bulk into the Pokemon.
Yeah. And this thing would be a lot better, I think, if it had like Moonblast or Play Rough.
Yeah. Moonblast would be nice.
The fact that its only Fairy Stab is Dazzling Gleam is kind of bad. And it doesn't have the best special attack either. And as you said before, it's kind of...
A lot of it, like, electric terrain, a lot of its power is relied on electric terrain.
Yeah. But, that's why Smogon put it at number 4. And, yeah, let's go to number 3. So for number 3, we have Landorus Therian. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, so this is the best mon in OU, and it's one of the best mons in Draft League. This Mon was already a monster, but with the addition of Z moves, it's become even more of a monster. It's it's the best physical check in the game. If you have a physical attack on your team, Lando-T checks it, no questions asked. And with Z moves, like, man, it even checks Z physical Kyurem, honestly. It's really this Mon, like one of the best physical checks.
Kyurem.
Hey, if you scout out the Z move, now what's Kyurem doing?
That's not a check.
Dragon Claw bouncing right off.
Well, if Ultra, Sun, and Moon are correct in using multiple Z moves, then yeah.
I heard that's only an in-game thing.
Oh, good.
But Z moves like this, like it was already one of the most threatening setup sweepers, but with Z moves, it's crazy. It's now one of the most threatening wall breakers, one of the most threatening sweepers. If you ask the what's taking like a Z fly or a Z Rockium Z,
yeah,
there's nothing. And if you set up a rock polish, you can break through offensive teams. It's a ground type. It's a rocker. It has a lot of momentum. There's so many good things to say about it.
Yeah, I think you pretty much covered all of it. Only downsides is it's 4 times weak to ice. Not the best speed either. And it's a flying type that does not get defog, but most people wouldn't run defog on it anyway, I don't think.
Yeah. Base 91's alright. One thing that's nice, you can outspeed like base 80s, which is also another crowded speed tier.
Yeah.
Base 91 lets you outspeed almost everything at +2 after a rock polish, so that's pretty good. But not being able to like go up to like base 95 or base 100 kind of hurts it offensively.
Yeah. But that's pretty much why we have it at number 3. As for number 2, we have Kyurem Black. You want to talk about it? Illusion, you there?
Man, Kyurem Black. I honestly, even if like there weren't Z moves, like in Gen 6, this Mon was like one of the best in League. It has Uber's stats, Uber's bulk, Uber's level attack and special attack, and now it gets Z.
Yeah. Has great coverage as well. Gets Fusion Bolt, Ice Beam, Earth Power. And you can run it as a somewhat bulky variant because it has Roost, and you can, I guess, play around with Substitute and things like that. And people actually kind of sleep on Terravolt. If it's like...
Yeah, Terravolt's pretty good.
Yeah.
It lets you like break through unaware walls too. Like you can like home claws up, and then even things like Quagsire or Clefable get like washed.
Also, you can Earth Power levitating things and break sturdy.
This thing, like if you don't have an ice resist, Z like free shot kills something.
Yep.
Period.
Some downsides.
Even if you do have an ice resist, it's not even switching.
Yeah. Some downsides of it is that it's less than base 100 speed, so it's not going to be outspeeding any of the pixies. It actually lacks a physical ice stab besides a free shock, which takes up 2 turns without a Z move. It's weak to rocks. And
yeah, its physical coverage is pretty bad, honestly. If it weren't for Fusion Bolt, it'd be terrible.
Yeah.
Besides, on the physical moveset side.
Outrage and Dragon Claw, but other than that, this is definitely one of the best ones in the game, I think.
Definitely.
And Smogon things.
Game Freak approved.
Exactly. So, you want to move on to number 1?
Yep, number 1. Undisputed number 1.
I think they can guess which one it is. Celesteela.
Yeah, they can get. It's young Celesteela. This Mon is the GOAT Pokemon. Honestly, this thing has one of the best defensive typings in the game. Like I was talking about Excadrill earlier. Excadrill can almost never break through. It's really hard for this has a really good defensive typing. It has really good defensive stats, really good offensive stats, and a really, really good move pool. Leech Seed is amazing defensively for recovery. And it gets things like Heavy Slam, Earthquake, Air Slash. Honestly, I think this is in contention. I think this is the second best Z move user in the game behind Lando-T. With Beast Boost, it pretty much is able to sweep. And a cool thing about Beast Boost is it can sweep on both the physical and special side. So even if they have like a special wall to wall Celesteela, you can run a autonomized physical stat with like Z physical fly to break through that and then start sweeping.
And what's also awesome about this thing is that it can pretty much fit on any team you want or will want to bring. Like, there's always room for this thing.
Yeah, it's a monster.
Some downsides are that it doesn't have the best speed tier, base 61, and its only recovery is Leech Seed. And
even Scarfed, it won't outspeed Mons like Tapu Koko or Weavile, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, but no, you should not run a Scarf on this Mon.
Hey, if it could outspeed Tapu Koko, Scarf could be a thing.
Yeah. I guess, I don't know. Like, there isn't much that could suppress this thing in terms of viability that wouldn't get banned.
Yeah, honestly, this mon's super good. I think it's like we know it's the best mon in League format because this is a Smogon approved list. Honestly, I think this thing would be in contention for being banned if it got like Roost.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Roost Celesteela would be monstrous.
Although, I don't know, Leech Seed's definitely good as well.
Yeah. Let you it's hard. I've almost never seen this thing die in one hit unless it's like a Z Electric from Tapu Koko. This thing has like monster bulk and a monster typing.
Yeah. It really does. Anything else to add?
So number 0 on the list is Combi. So Combi has really good stats all around. It's unbeatable and better than Celesteela in every way.
Fair enough. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much why Combi's banned. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.